who is that masked man? In short, he's Michael Crawford, and all this serious attention must really be something for a guy who started out in life with the actual last name of Dumbbell, a guy who was once the biggest sitcom star in all of Britain, a one-time co-star with Barbra Streisand. He played Cornelius Hackle in Hello, Dolly. In creating his memorable stage role, Michael Crawford had to transform himself from a clown into the man with the beautiful but tormented soul, the Phantom. If sellout crowds every night and a Tony Award don't convince you that that transformation is 100% complete, well, here's further proof.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light, and listen to the music of the night.
The Phantom of the Opera, unmasked, tonight. From now until the end of time, you will be Michael Crawford, ... the Phantom of the Opera.
No, not a bit. I think I've spent so many years back home in England, at least, being another character as well. When I played comedy, I had a television series there, which was it was called Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, but I mean in this country it would be known, say, as He Should Be Your Son. Mm-hmm. He was a klutz, and I played this guy for about 18 shows. That's all. But because we don't do as many in a series as you do here, and it ran. We made it 14 years ago, and last November it was number 4 in the ratings. That's 14 years later. So it's very nice to have a little success, but that was taking it too far, especially as you only got paid for 18 shows.
Some time ago, you were voted by the British equivalent of Our TV Guide the funniest man on television. And there's an irony here, because here's a fellow who made a very nice living as a comedic performer, and now you're playing the most tragic imaginable role.
Yes, I suppose from there it's tragic. From where I'm playing it, I love the man. I love the character. I feel, when you say, people will say, how do you go and do it every night? I've played it now for nearly 2 years. Very easily is my answer, because I love him. I love his warmth. I know he does some outrageous things, but passing by those things with this, I mean, because that's Victorian melodrama with when it goes to the extremes of passion there. Mm-hmm. But in his warmth and his giving in life, for what he lacks from your point of view, from his disfigurement. He's not disfigured inside. He has more than most of us have, who some very extremely good-looking people. But he's a very warm and wonderful person inside. And I have the music to sing and to work with every night. It's such an exercise. It's such a journey to take, and I really love doing that.
Your father was a World War II fighter pilot, and he died in the war 6 months before you were born. Do you often think of him? Did you often think of him growing up?
Yes, I think about him regularly. I think about him all my life. You grow up without somebody, you grow up without a father. You have something that you want to live up to, first of all for your mother. And then I lost my mother when I was 21, and I just sort of made a promise to them both then that I'd work as hard as I could to make them as proud of me as I could. And for the first time in my life now, I'm doing something that I really do think I've gone somewhere, and I'm eating it up. I'm so happy to be here. And again, I was able, through Phantom, to make my first album and my solo album, which is now nearly going gold in this country. Now, I'd never sung before, and this album I've dedicated to my grandmother, in fact, because she was the one who made me sing, who just didn't make me, she just said, I want you to sing, you must sing. And I sang, and all the songs on it are feelings of throughout my life of what I've promised people, like not a day goes by that I don't think about you. And that's to my family. We all feel that way. That I think is how I'm able to put things through in Phantom, that you can convey love and you can cry every night, because it's an unfortunate word, but I am very grateful for what happens to me. And I don't want to waste a moment of it, because who knows where we are tomorrow.
Do you ever stand there on the stage? I'm sure the standing ovation I saw is standard each night. You'd have to be without a pulse not to react that way. You ever stand there and think of your mom or dad, wish they could sit in that theater one time?
I should think they are.
Do you play him the same every night? For example, the night I saw it, one moment that struck me, the Phantom is now approaching the first moment of intimacy with the beautiful girl he craves from a distance. And as they come close and she's about to kiss him, and they touch, his right arm, which is closest to the audience, comes up in a trembling fashion. He can barely bring himself to this moment of contact. Now, is that standard? Does it tremble like that every time, or is that the way you felt it that night when I saw it?
No, that happens every night. But every night it has to be spontaneous. You don't ever stand there and as she kisses me, I just make my arm shake. It goes through your entire body, the effect that it's having on you, that this beautiful girl, I've never felt, he's never been kissed before, he's never been touched before, he's never felt this sort of intimacy before, he's never been given that much before, and everything in his whole life comes together in that one moment, and it's, I treat it almost like an orgasm that he's, it tears his whole body from his whole life, that moment. So.
I was told, you can tell me if it's true or not, that more often than not, you're moved to tears yourself while you're playing the role each night on the stage.
Yes, that happens. That happens every night. Again, if you sing the words that I have to sing with the music given to me, and you live those moments, you go through those moments and sing and take the words as tenderly as they are intended, if you're involved enough, there's no way that you won't. Well, I guess that's the way I work. I mean, I don't have to, and it would work if someone else played it. It would work if they didn't, most probably.